Have you ever asked yourself what websites you should be using to analyze a company? Well, today is your lucky day because I'm gonna show you some of the most well-known websites and some hidden gems that I think you should be using. Let's go! So today we are going to be on the computer so that it's easier for me to show what websites I use and how I use them. If you just want to know what websites I'll be showing today, check down in the description. I'll be leaving a list of the websites I'll be showing. And yeah, let's get started. And let's start with the most obvious website that everybody knows about, Yahoo Finance. It's still a great website. It's the first website you probably hear about when you get started. And yeah, it has some news, it has some trending tickers so that you can see what other people are looking at. You get the gap gainers, the gap losers, top ETFs. So yeah, it's pretty good. But most people come here just to get a quick look at how a stock is performing. And today, just for illustration purposes, we are going to be showing Apple throughout all the websites so that we can compare them. And you must have seen this 1,000 times probably. So yeah, you get the price, the market cap, you get the graph that I think it's interactive. If you go full screen, yeah, you can probably draw here. I don't use it, but you can probably draw here. There we go. I don't really use it, but you can do it if you want to. You got the P/E ratio, EPS, dividend, earnings, you know, the basic stuff that you can look at. You got the earnings report, the estimates versus actual revenue versus revenue and earnings. Also recommendations, if it is a buy, hold, sell, the target price, the price target for Apple is 152.70. You get a quick description of what the company does, and here is just news about the company, so you've probably been here 1,000 times. Now if you come to statistics, that's where it starts to get interesting. You got some ratios, price to sales, price to book, EV over revenue, and 52-week high, 50-week low, pretty common. Profit margin, always good. Check that out and compare it with the main competitors. So for example, it would be Microsoft for Apple, for example. Also the shares outstanding, the float, short percentage of float, which is an interesting stat that due to the GameStop craziness everybody's checking out now, but as you can see it's really outdated, almost a month now. And yeah, you have the dividends for companies that pay a dividend. I always like, of course, one of the main things you have to look at it's the payout ratio. I always like to check that out, like to see it under 60, of course. 21, almost 22%, it's great. And here you have some of the most important stats in income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, but you can also check them out in financials yourself. So you got the income statement, you got until 2017, I think, maybe 2016, 2017. You got the income statement until 2017, balance sheet until 2017, cash flow, you know the drill, you know how it works. Now if you come to analysis, analysis, you get the input from analysts and you can see what they are saying for the next 2 years, this year, next year, for Apple and any other company actually. And you can see what they are saying for earnings. Average estimate for this year is 4.45, next year is 4.7, so you can see that's growing. And revenue as well, 333, 3408, 348. Yeah, you can check this out. I think everybody knows this by now. So let's get to the second website that I use, which is Zacks. And Zacks also, it's basically the same thing as Yahoo Finance, which is also pretty good. You get everything here. You get earnings, screening, you get a screener, you get videos, podcasts, what funds are doing, and of course you can check some stocks. You also get some basic news, but I'll be showing other websites for news. But we can check out Apple, what they are doing here. Basically now it's a 3 out of 5 here in Zacks. You get the ratios. Now in Zacks you have some more interesting things. Let's get the pub out of the way. You get some more interesting things as key company metrics. For example, for Apple, you can see how much of their revenue comes from the iPhone, how much comes from the Mac, how much is made in America, how much is made in Europe. You know, the basic stuff that it's always good to check that out. If some sector of the company is underperforming, some sector is growing up fast, you can check that out quickly. And they also have estimates that are now, forget where they are at, detailed estimates. Also, always good to have input from, I don't know, 3-4 websites maybe, so that you can look at what's the average estimates, because some websites will overvalue, some other websites will undervalue, and you can see, you can probably do the average of all the websites you check out. I use Yahoo Finance, Zacks, and some, I think 2 others that I'll show today, and I just do the average of what they think. You get the earnings as once more, high estimate, low estimate, average. Where's the average? I'd say here, most recent consensus. Yes, the average. You know, the basic stuff that everybody knows about as well. But it's always good to check out 2-3 websites. Now Zacks, it's a little bit more complex than Yahoo Finance, but not much. You can also get the earnings transcripts. But I'll be showing some other websites. So let's get on to TipRanks, which I don't have the shortcut. TipRanks. I just come to TipRanks and check what it's a paying website, so that's up to you to decide if you want to pay for the website or not. I just come in and check what is their target price. So for Apple it's 151 by March 2022. Highest is 175, lowest is 83. Okay, that's pretty low, but it's a moderate buy out of 26 analysts. So that's all I check out. I just come in and check out what they have to say. Also 26 analysts again. Always good to check out what multiple sources have to say. Now if we come to Simply Wall Street. Now Simply Wall Street is a paying website. You get 5 free company reviews per month. I already used one this month, so I'll be using the same, VSTO, Vista Outdoor, which I have a video on already if you want to check that out. But here you can see that it's one of 5 companies that I viewed this month, so I already used this website for this company. And you get the tabs here. It's a website that's easier to the eye, I'd say. It's pretty well designed. And here you get the tabs, share price and news, valuation, future growth, past performance. You can check that out. If you want to management, always good. I think they actually say, yeah, compensation. They actually have the salary of the CEO. Always good to see. But yeah, it's a good website. Check that out. It also shows comparison to the industry. So here you get, for example, price to book ratio. You get a company 2.9, industry is 4.5. So that's good. You can always compare it to the industry. P ratio is 32, industry is 28. So yeah, pretty good website. I like to check it out, spend some time over it. You can get the report, but I believe, yeah, the report, you have to pay for the report, so you can just check it out online. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good website. I spent some time over it, but you get a quick overview of the company, so not bad. It's actually a good website. Now another great website that I use a lot is MacroTrends. And this website, I'm just gonna look up a file so I can show you guys what I do with what I found on this website. Okay, I got it. So this website, you also get a screener, but I also use it for data. So I just come in and I check out the revenue. You get the graphs for the revenue, for example, but I usually take the data from here and I put it in a file for myself, and then I play around with the data, as you can see here in the file. For example, we got revenue versus gross profit, and I'm just checking out if the percentage of conversion from revenue to gross profit is increasing or decreasing. As you can see, it's been decreasing. This is for Salesforce. This is for Salesforce, ticker CRM, if you want to check it out. And yeah, I just play around with the data. As you can see, I do some graphs that I can look at. It's pretty quick to look out. They have been growing they have been spending more and more in their R&D department, research and development. I also, for example, I compare it to other companies as well, the competitors. always good to look at this stuff up, and you can play around with data. So this the website I come to look at that data and use it. Shares outstanding, always good to see if the shares are being there's diluted or not, if there are more shares being issued, or they're just keeping it as it is. Maybe a buyback plan, that would be great. You also get the financials. You also have the balance sheet and income statement here. I usually use this one or Koyfin, so which is the website we'll be looking at next, instead of Yahoo Finance. So it's pretty good to look at. Now, what I like about this website the most is the comparison with other stocks. You have to just change for something and then come back. I don't know why it does that, but that's how it works. Net profit margin, for example, you can compare Apple with, let's say, Microsoft, with its competitors. Let's say also with Dell. And what else? HPQ? Yeah, HPQ. You can see that these are the graphs that I come here to look at mostly. You can see that Apple net margin, profit margin is at 20, almost 22. Microsoft is at 33.5 almost. HPQ, which is HP, it's at 5, and Dell's it's at 2.64. So you compare this stuff. I mean, I wouldn't use this for Apple, of course, but for other companies that we don't know much about, I come in and look at this type of charts. Yeah, it's a pretty good website to compare this kind of stuff. You get net profit margin, revenue, you can compare all this stuff against each other. So yeah, as you can see, Apple is way above the rest of them. It's a pretty good graphs. These are some pretty good graphs to look at, and compare it to the industry as well, or to other companies. Now to the most interesting website, it's Koyfin. Koyfin is a great website that I only recently found out about. So I don't really know how everything works yet. I'm trying to figure it out still, but it's the greatest website that I found in the investment area. You get a quick overview over the ETFs, you know, the global, how investments are going globally. You get the top news, NTFs, of course. What else? Starting a family, Waymo CEO, Biden, infrastructure, trending topic right now. The market movers. You can actually, the market movers, yeah. So they actually only do mega cap. So if you are here if you want to do it for penny stocks, this is not the best place to come to. You can actually create your own dashboards. I still haven't, but I will most certainly be doing it in the future. But oh, it's Apple's already. Let's just take a quick view of how they describe the company. You can have a quick overview. Of course, again, short interest, competitors. Here they are. HPE, Dell, HPQ. You can have the analysts, more analysts estimates here for 2023. They say it's going to be at 368 billion. The sales. Oh, that's the sales. Okay, that's great. And if you come here and you don't know what a company does or something, you can have a quick overview, a quick description of what the company does. You can check this out. Pretty good. It's an excellent website, actually. It's the best website I've found out here about in the investment area. Payout ratio again, price target, more analysis. Damn, that's hard to say. Analysis the year from 41 analysts, so that's pretty good to look at. 41 analysts, that's a pretty good pool of analysts. So they consider it a buy, of course. Everybody considers Apple a buy. I don't know why I'm showing that. And here you have more analysis. God damn it, I struggled to say that word. Damn. You have more analysis for Apple. Yeah, estimates trends as well. You know, the usual stuff. Enterprise value over sales. Going to be decreasing, so that's good. And then you get financial analysis as well. Here you get, once again, the basic stuff, highlights. You can also get the income statement, the balance sheet. I usually come to either MacroTrends or this website for the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. So this is probably the website I'm going to come to. The multiples, of course, you also have those. The enterprise value, the profitability, solvency. Always good stuff to look at, of course. Everything is to be taken into consideration when analyzing a company. Then you have news about the company that they pull out. You also get the tweets about the company, so that's great. I mean, they got some amazing stuff in here. Then you have the company filings. You can find the 10Ks, the 10Qs, the 10Ks, the 8Ks. So basically everything you want to find out, you can come here and pull it up. Or you can just go to sec.gov if you want to, but I mean, this is way more presentable, I believe. And they also have the transcripts for the earnings call. What I usually like to do is get the transcripts here, and then I go to, give me a sec, go to earnings cast, and I pull up the call actually, because they have the calls. And then you can listen to the call here. And while I'm, for example, as it was playing, and while I'm listening to the call, I'm actually reading through here as well. I'm just tagging along, following what they are saying. It's a pretty good. If you don't want to read it all yourself, it's a pretty good way to do it. Now, you also have some graphs, the basic stuff as well, also interactive. But for graphs, you can actually check out, I believe I have it here, yeah, TradingView. Everybody knows about this as well. If you are just looking for a quick way, check out some graphs. What is this? VSTO. Yeah, let's change it to Apple. You are just wanting to take a quick view at what graphs. Oh, I haven't been to Apple's graph in a while, at least in TradingView. Yeah, it's the best free website that there is for graphs. It's TradingView. But now let's switch to the websites I use to get some news. Yes, I want to leave. And you get the Motley Fool. It's probably the best website if you want to check out some of the most unknown, under the radar stocks. They usually find out some pretty great stuff that most people actually never hear about. So I like to check them out and see what they are saying, what stocks they are considering buying. So yeah, it's a pretty good website. Now the news websites, of course, it's easy to know what they do. They give out news, so you can read news. And what else I use? I use Seeking Alpha, but Seeking Alpha, it's also a paying website, so I don't go there much. I use Bloomberg, which is a paying website that I pay for because I actually subscribed when they were for sale, so I'm getting a pretty good deal for it. And Bloomberg it's probably the greatest website for news, especially if you had the Bloomberg terminal. That would be great, but I mean 2K per month, it's not for my pocket at least. I don't know about you. But yeah, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good website. You can just look up what the markets are doing, stocks markets, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, Nasdaq, the usual stuff. Americas, Europe, the usual stuff that everybody knows about. But the news that they put out are usually the best news website I've found out in here. Yeah, I also use CNBC, CNN, Financial Times. I think I checked it out as well, but I didn't like it much. You also have Twitter. Twitter is pretty good. You can find some good stuff in there. You can just type the $, then the ticker, and then you get related topics to Apple. So Apple will use Tesla's Megapack batteries at its California solar farm, Verge, and there's some good stuff in here in that you can find in Twitter. It's actually really underrated what you can find in Twitter, what people are saying about the company. Now, of course, for Roran Key, of course, he has to be everywhere now. Now, of course, for Apple, you are going to find a lot of stuff. But for companies that are really not that well known, for example, VSTO, as we've already talked about it today. It's pretty good. Double beat on earnings this week. Ammunition back ordered a year. Demand continues to soar, as I said it would, and throughout the year 2021 as well. So VSTO sells ammo. That's why it's talking about ammunition. So you can find some pretty good stuff in Twitter. Also, Reddit. I won't be going there, but Reddit, it's probably one of the best places to find news about, not news, but some good DD, some good research, some good due diligence DD about a company. That's probably a good place to get started. What else do we have today? Oh, screeners. Yeah, screeners. Screeners is good. It's good. For screeners, you obviously have Finviz, the screener that most people know about, of course. And yep, it's pretty good screener. You can just type screener, all, you know, the stuff you just put in the stuff you want to look about. So you are day trading, I don't know what, under 100 million current volume, over 10 million maybe. ACY, of course, it's in here. ACY, everybody been talking about it since it exploded yesterday, no, before yesterday, sorry. Everybody been talking about ACY, so it's pretty good. It's a very good screener. I usually don't use it because I tend to use the screener that I have in with my broker, so I rarely come online to screen stuff to use a screener like Finviz. Now, something else that also has a good screener is MacroTrends. It also has a screener, as I said, stock screener. I think I used it twice, maybe 3 times, but I was actually surprised by how good it is, how much input you can put it in. Now, something fun that I like to see, some deeper research that I like to do, is Open Insider, especially, as you can see, which gives you the information about what insiders are doing. Of course, Open Insider gives the information about what insiders are doing with the shares that they are receiving. So, for example, you can see Cook Timothy, CEO of Apple, has sold some shares in the value of 131 million. So yeah, you can see what they are doing. This gives you a pretty good view of what is happening within the company, because these guys usually have more information about what's happening in the company than we do. So it's always good to check out what they are thinking. If they are selling, it's usually a bad sign. If they are buying, is usually a good sign. So always remember to check out what people inside the company are doing. Another website that I like to use a lot is Dataroma. Dataroma, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, I have no idea. Here you can see what the most well-known investors are doing. For example, Warren Buffett, of course. Warren Buffett, what he's doing, what he's been, recent activity. Let's see what he's been buying. The fourth quarter, he's been buying Verizon, T-Mobile, Kroger, Merck, Marsh, AbbVie, Bristol, Myers, Chevron, RH. So always good to check out what these guys are buying. Here you actually can see what they've been buying the most. So top 10 buys last quarter: Microsoft, Wells Fargo, Facebook. Top big bets: Micron, AutoNation. Most owned stocks, of course, Facebook has to be in here. So always good to see what they are buying. So it seems that they are pretty big on Wells Fargo right now. Might be worth checking out how Wells Fargo is doing. So you get some good knowledge of, a pretty good overall idea of what the big investors they are doing. Charlie Munger, of course, also with Warren Buffett. But you got some other guys in here. For example, Bill Ackman, also a pretty well-known guy that made some big billions last year around this time. Another website for good research is Whale Wisdom. Whale Wisdom is great. APL. So here you can see what the big funds, not the investors, what the big funds are doing. with Apple, for example, changing shares. So for example, you can see that Berkshire has been selling shares lately. Is that true? Let me see. Warren Buffett, where are you, my dear? Warren Buffett buys. No Apple sells. Yes, Apple 57 million 160. Here it is. What a coincidence, right? State Street has also been selling, or you can see who has been buying 167 million shares. Norges Bank. I don't even know who you are, but so let's check out, for example, Norges Bank. Then you can see what a specific fund has been doing lately. You can see what areas they are big in. For example, they have been growing. I believe they have been growing the what is this? Real estate? No, the consumer discretionary. Yeah, it's pretty right there. Why am I looking at here? Energy, consumer staples, consumer discretionary, healthcare. What is this? Finance. They are big in finance. So yeah, you can see what they have been doing lately, what they have been buying. Where's the buying? Where's the holdings? Here. Holdings. What they are buying, what they are selling. Let's see. Added to F1. Okay. New Apple, Microsoft. So they must be a pretty recent fund. They're less reported based on Oslo. I don't know. I have some funds here that I like to look at. I'm still adding to this list. I would like to add some more funds to see what they are looking at. For example, Standard. They like to invest in companies that are in the risk of being bankrupted, but they believe that they will not be bankrupt. So that they believe the company is actually undervalued right now. It's always good to know what they are thinking, what they are seeing. New LTRPA closed out. Oh, I got it. A sec. IGT, they have closed out IGT, so probably they don't think it's going to go well for them in the future. Yeah, you can see what they are holding. So these are some good companies. If you want to look at underrated companies, Standard General is a good fund to look at, for example. You also got Psy, and of course the investment fund that the hedge fund that shorted the hedge fund that shorted the real estate market in 2008 by Michael Burry. I think that's his name. Michael Burry, yeah. Pretty sure it was his name. If you have not seen the movie The Big Short, totally incentivate you to. I recommend it 100%. Big Short and Margin Call, two good movies to watch right now. So yeah, that's some of the best websites that I use. What else do I have as well? Stock analysis, MacroTrends, Yahoo Finance, TradingView. Yeah, TradingView, not the charts, but also the main I don't know, the homepage, if you want to call it that way. They have some pretty good stuff about what other people are analyzing. So if you want to check out some TA, technical analysis, for some company, you can always come here and see what people are thinking that will happen, ideas. By setup forming, for example, you can see that you can see their technical analysis. So it's pretty good. Check that out. Check what other people are thinking. That's obviously the main thing we do. Check out what specialists are thinking, because we are not specialists. We are still learning, and I believe we are always learning. So stock research. What else do I have? Earnings whispers, the earnings calendar. You wanna see who's going to be reporting. Of course, today there's nobody going to be reporting. Tomorrow you get the companies. AMC. Oh, you get the companies that are going to be reporting. PM. Nothing interesting this week, I believe. Oh, Monday the 12th. gets interesting. So you have a lot of companies are going to be reporting on Monday the 12th. So yeah, that's mostly what I do. I usually start with coming here and check out what these funds are buying, what they are selling, and then I go about researching the companies that I believe they are most confident on. So yeah, that's basically what I do. So that's all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't a scripted video, so you can see that I was a bit of all over the place. I was a little bit all over the place. But yeah, you can see here what I check out: Bloomberg, CNBC, CNN, Motley Fool, Twitter, Reddit. I use Koyfin the most, MacroTrends, Yahoo Finance, Zacks, Earnings Cast. Oh, something that I would like to tell about, it's search engines. So this is something that most people don't know about. You can create your own search engines. For example, if I go here and I just type 10YB, that's all I type. I press enter, I got the 10-year treasury note, for example. So as you can see here, it's a pretty good resource to use. Or if I want to go to Yahoo Finance and I want to check out Apple, I just type YF tab AAPL, boom, I'm straight away in Apple. If I want to do for VSTO, YF tab VSTO, boom, I'm in VSTO. What else? I also got Zacks at ZA, Apple, boom. It doesn't work for all the websites out there, but it works for most. So I think you should actually, yeah, you should really look at it. FB for bonds. You can see what bonds are doing. Yeah, it's a pretty good resource that I. SecGov, if you want to go to SecGov, SG. Then you type here AAPL. You got the reports from Apple. Your filings. There you go. You got the reports for Apple. So it's something really good that I would tell you that you should really look at. Well Wisdom, WW, AAPL, boom, I'm in Apple. It's pretty good. Something that it's really handy, let's say. So yeah, that's all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I was a little bit all over the place. I had no script for this video, so that's the best I could do. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.